Sejam todos muito bem-vindos a esta que es a quinta
Welcome.
visita de Sua Santidad o
Welcome
Dalai Lama ao
to His
Brasil.
Holiness the
Visita
Dalai Lama
acalentada
visit
e
to Brazil,
esperada por muito de nós.
very much
Sou Lia
expected by all of
Diski,
us. I'm Lia
cofundadora da
Diskin,
Associação Palas Athena,
co-founder of Associação Palas Athena with
Tenho a
Professor
alegria e a
Basilio
honra
Pavlovitz,
de estar
and I have the joy and the honor
recibiendo a Sua Santidade
to be
em nome
here
de todos os
welcoming His
milhares que están
Holiness
asistiendo.
on behalf of the thousands of
Es
people who are
importante,
gathered
¿no es cierto?,
today.
salientar que a trayectoria
It is
rumbo a
very
Sua
important to
Santidade de 4
highlight the
visitas que nos
trajectory
precederam
of
en
4 visits, 4
1992
prior
durante a
visits
Expo no
of
Rio de
His
Janeiro,
Holiness back in 1992 in the Rio Summit, back in 1999, 2006, and 2011, always with a legacy of hope and trust, and above all, of efforts to foster our best qualities so we can move forward in something that today, in the topic being addressed by His Holiness, bringing our hearts towards the new millennium. In the trajectory of His Holiness, we already see a very meaningful startup. One of the first actions made by His Holiness when he arrived in Dharamsala in exile, and then China, after China invaded Tibet in 1959, he decided to create a school for the children and the youth, certainly knowing that education was the path not only to bring hope about the future, but above all, to preserve cultural identity and open room for new knowledge. The same conviction was manifested back in 1987 when he called upon a group of scientists to foster dialogue with monks and practitioners. From this moment onwards, several dialogues were set involving science and spirituality, and they come alive until today. And not only that, this echoes even in monasteries when His Holiness decided to include science of nature, biologic science, physical science for the curricula of monastic training. However, his vision and his visionary capacity 30 years ago, when environmental topics were not so urgent as they are today, His Holiness, in one of his talks, already warned us. And I quote part of his lecture: "The most subtle level of matter is also governed by interdependence. The planet in which we live, the oceans, the clouds, forests, and flowers around us are all phenomena that depend on subtle energy structures. Without the necessary interactions, phenomena would decay and dissolve." As if it were written a couple of years ago, when the first studies and movements to preserve the planet were started. His Holiness, we thank you deeply. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your time. We thank you for being available to encourage and foster what you always say: nature inherent of human beings is love, benevolence, compassion, altruism. Deep gratitude for constantly reminding us of these principles.
His Holiness, we would like to listen your words. Please.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And with Tibetan word, Trishiteli. I'm very happy having this opportunity to talk. Now, obviously, we human beings, our brain, I think the size of brain, I think elephant, some other animals' brain, I think much bigger. But we have this brain which produces intelligence. Now that's something very unique about humanity. So therefore, obviously, last few thousand years, including Buddha Shakyamuni, and many teachers, scholars among the humanity, happen because of this unique human brain intelligence. So basically, that human intelligence is wonderful. If you only intelligence, that intelligence combined with anger, hatred, fear, then that intelligence may become something destructive. So now, intelligence, wonderful intelligence, must combine with warm-heartedness. Now for your own, even you say, health viewpoint, intelligence alone not necessarily produce good health. Intelligence and more compassionate mind combine. Then, firstly, that intelligence also become something constructive. And then, secondly, through more warm-heartedness, this is really bring inner peace. So that very important for good health. So now this, not only we religious people say, now some scientists and brain specialists, they also recognize intelligence alone may not bring inner peace. So now we really need warm-heartedness. And people sometimes consider warm-heartedness is something religious matter. No, this is totally not. Our social animal, their mother really showing affection towards the children. No connection with religious faith. So now we should make distinction. religious faith and warm-heartedness, two separate things. As I mentioned earlier, those animal, even some scientists say those animal, social animal, which depend, individual animals' life depend on their group. So automatically, you see a sense of closeness there. These are nature's, or what's the nature product, because we need helping each other. For that, intelligence alone not sufficient. Warm-heartedness, very important. So now, I always, emphasis. Now we, I think, last few thousand years, and especially now these days, anger, self-centered sort of attitude really create a lot of problem on this planet. We can easily see several centuries among humanity killing, so-called war. Within my life, my own lifetime, when I was very young, the Second World War. Then before that, First World War. Then Third World. There is always danger. People talk Third World War. So this not lacking intelligence, but intelligence not balanced with warm-heartedness. So now today, we really need special effort. People about warm-heartedness. We should not consider warm-heartedness is something religious matter. Religion, individual business, whether believe religion or not. But warm-heartedness, as we are a social animal, we really need warm-heartedness. Now question, now these days, we, or say everybody, you see, consider importance of education. In education, we should include education about warm-heartedness, not as a religion, but point of health and peaceful family, peaceful community, and finally, peaceful world. One of my, one commitment is all 7 billion human beings is same human brothers, sisters. We have to live together. No point to quarrel, fighting. So the fighting may a weapon create? No. If someone who really feel more compassionate mind, here one big gun, never touch. When I is small, I have air gun, play. And occasionally, some sort of bird who really attack on smaller bird. Such case, I use that air gun. Otherwise, you see, I never sort of touch any gun. So now today, I think a lot of money spent about a weapon. Totally wrong. And every nation spent a lot of money for army, for defense, so-called defense. You see, these, I think, should be outdated. Now, this century, genuine, peaceful century, no longer any use weapon. So weapon, because of fear, because of anger, because of self-centered thinking, then these weapon something relevant. Peaceful, entire humanity as a one human family, then no longer any use of weapon. So now in education, we should include children beside class or different sort of subject. We should include how to be more calm person, less fear. You know, I myself, my teacher, sometimes was showing a little bit sort of difficult face. Then, you see, sometimes I feel uncomfortable. So teacher smiling, even some sort of suggestion, so with smile, and it really deeps inside. Otherwise, teacher showing a little bit, stern.
No.
And then, while teacher there, behave well. When no longer teacher, play like that. It teach hypocrisy. So, teacher, like my own sort of experience, more compassionate teacher, really influence in children's mind. So now, teacher of school, not only teaching the subject, but also show the student warm-heartedness. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not religious thing. Now some scientists fully agree with me. Warm-heartedness, peace of mind is very important for health reason. So therefore, in education, we should include about warm-heartedness, not on the reason, religious belief, for healthy body, peace of mind, and peaceful society, peaceful family. So, in our education, should include about some explanation about warm-heartedness without a connection with religion, religious belief. Simply, try to mention healthy body, healthy body combined with smiling face. They're very good. Then everybody loves. My own experience, I practice compassion on the basis of entire sentient being are same. And now here, humanity, entire human being are same, our brothers, sisters. So with this firm belief, wherever I go, I always smile. Whether European, whether African, whether Latin American, we are same human being. Different color, different system is secondary. Important is we are same. So, now in education, we should include one subject about warm-heartedness, not as a religion, for health reason, for peaceful family, peaceful society, ultimately peaceful world. So that I always say, emphasize. So here I want to share with you this my fundamental belief. And this is not just a belief, practical level. Warm-heartedness, more compassionate mind, really bring inner peace. Okay. Now some.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Your Holiness, my name is Elisa Cosassa. I'm a researcher in the field of neuroscience and behavior at Hospital Israelita Albert Einstein in São Paulo, Brazil. I'm a fellow of the Mind and Life Institute and chairperson of the Tibet House Brazil. I'm coordinating the post-graduation course Emotional Management Organizations, Cultivating Emotional Balance with Gianni Pili, and its certified teachers in this program created by Paul and Evie Ekman and Alan Wallace at your request in 2000. I'm also an honorary member of the Brazilian Air Force, and I have been collaborating with Emory University in its compassion programs. Now I will start with a question to you. How can the research in the field of neuroscience contribute to an educational system that can foster the values of compassion and altruism?
Now, the Wangza, I think consciousness mainly connected with sense of organs. Now, the compassion or warm-heartedness is this connected with we call sixth mind. So sixth mind is superior and use or control the sensorial consciousness. So now key thing is the sixth mind. So for example, the training about peace of mind, not sensorial level, but we call sixth mind, main mind. So now mainly in education field, we should include education about warm-heartedness in the sense how to build healthy body, happy mind. And finally, as I already mentioned, happy world. We really need, whether believe religion or not, we really need warm-heartedness. Okay.
Your Holiness, please, Leah, the second question.
Responsabilidade universal é convite que sua
Universal responsibility is Your Holiness' constant call and basically addressed
chefes de Estado,
for heads of state,
acadêmicos,
entrepreneurs,
mesmo para as lideranças
scholars,
espirituais.
and even spiritual
Eu lhe
leaders.
pergunto, Sua Santidade, como nós, pessoas
Your
leigas,
Holiness,
podemos engajar-nos nesse
what are some
princípio de
constructive ways
responsabilidade universal,
for a layperson to engage with universal responsibility, since we all share the same planet, as you've just shared with us?
Actually, genuine warm-heartedness mainly towards our own human brothers, sisters. No differences, country or political theory or business, even religious leader. They all part of the humanity. We really need warm-heartedness on the basis of belief, oneness of 7 billion human beings. So when we talk about warm-heartedness, no differences on the basis of religion, on basis of country, or different ideology. So simply warm-heartedness, the reason for peace of mind, mainly for health reason. We can talk, we can teach student, mainly for a healthy mind, peaceful mind. For peaceful mind, the ultimate source is warm-heartedness. So that way, nothing to do with political reason or business or religious matter. So as a human being, entire human being are our brothers, sisters. We have to live side by side with human brothers, sisters. Okay.
Thank you so much, Your Holiness. next question is, in the light of the growing violence due to social inequalities and political strife, as well as environmental imbalance, how is it possible to nourish trust in the future?
I think possible. Firstly, socialism, democracy, during king and queen and a dictator, you see, unthinkable democracy and socialism. Now human being getting more experience, more wider perspective, then you see socialism, democracy, now these actually now develop. So all these very much connected with sense of responsibility for the community, for the people, for public. Now, politically, if you really want democratic society, peaceful society, now we should pay more attention about education, how to develop peace of mind. So not name of religion. As a human being, like that. Okay.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Please, Leah, the fourth question.
¿Cómo podemos, Sua Santidade, fortalecer o sentimento
Your
de
Holiness,
pertença à Mãe Terra?
how can we foster the feeling of belonging
Simplesmente
to Mother
recurso,
Earth?
para a
Mother
grandíssima
Earth
parte da
is
humanidade
a resource
que herdou
to
uma
the
visão
vast majority of
absolutamente
mankind, which
sem vida
inherited.
de o que é natureza e do que é cultura.
Sometimes
Como
we
podemos
have
proteger o
a
meio
division
ambiente
in our
e,
views
de
of
algum
nature and
modo,
culture. So
de
how can we protect
implementar
the
ações
environment and to some
já nas
extent
escolas, no campo
put
da
into
educação,
practice
para
actions
que esses
already at
sentimentos
schools
se
in the
consolidem?
field of education? So this
Naturally,
feeling of belonging really comes
this
true.
world belongs to humanity. So this world is our home. So ecology, these are actually matter for our own future. Now, according to some scientists, global warming increasing. So we should pay, now these days, natural disaster, some area too much wet, too much water, some area too much dry. So we have to think about environment. It is taking something like taking care of your own home. And as I already mentioned, entire 7 billion human beings, we are same human brothers, sisters. We have to live on this small planet. So it is our common responsibility to take care about environment, ecology, these things. Okay.
Thank you for the insightful thoughts, Your Holiness. Now I will introduce Marcia Plasman. Marcia is a teacher at Palas Athena. She has a master's degree in education and 50 years of experience in public private schools, always focused on the connections that lead to a creative and kind educational process. Please, Marcia, your question. Can you unmute, please?
Sua Santidade, o Senhor sempre enfatizou a
Your
importância
Holiness,
da educação
you have
para
always
a curação da
emphasized the
infância
importance of
dos
education
pequenos.
of the
E a
heart
minha
for
pergunta
children,
é, qual o modo
little
mais
children. So my
eficaz de
question
levar
is,
essa educação
what is the
para
most
as nossas
effective way
casas
of
e para as
bringing this
nossas
education
escolas?
into our homes and schools?
Usually, the people get the impression compassion is something matter of religion. So now that eventually I think we should change. Compassion is matter of healthy body, healthy mind. Not heaven, not for heaven or say the next life. Simply, day by day, in order to be peaceful person, happy person, nothing to do with religion. That I think important. We should show warm-heartedness is basic human good quality, human value, whether believer or non-believer. So I myself, you say, witness some Chinese communists for religion, they totally against religion, but they totally dedicated working for poor people, public. So they actually carried as the practice of the essence of religion, but nothing as the connected with God or next life. Simply try to build sort of happy society, equal society, particularly poor people. So we can make sort of, I'll say, clearly mentioned warm-heartedness is a matter for peace of mind. Nothing to do with particular religion. Okay.
Thank you for your wise words, Your Holiness. And the next question is from Danilo Santos de Miranda. Danilo is a sociologist, director of the Social Service of Commerce in São Paulo, SESC. He was the president of the World Cultural Forum in 2004 and a member of the board of many distinguished international cultural organizations. Please, your question, Danilo.
Santidade, devo confessar que estou envolvido
Your
em
Holiness,
uma de grande reverência,
I have to admit
respeito e gratidão.
that
Obrigado.
I have full of reverence, respect, and gratitude.
Em uma de
Thank you.
suas entrevistas,
My question
Sua
is,
Santidade
in one of
mencionou
your interviews,
desarmamento
Your Holiness
emocional
mentioned
como
emotional
forma de
disarmament
sobreviver à pandemia.
as a way to live
Sua
through the
Santidade pode
pandemic.
lançar alguma
Your
luz
Holiness,
sobre o
could you
conceito de
please throw
desarmamento
some light
emocional
on the
e como isso
concept
pode
of
ser
emotional
alcançado?
disarmament and how it can be achieved?
I think, you see, my point, this physical element also, you see, very much related with mental emotion. Mentally, too much anxiety. Then these illness easily come. When your mind complete peace, And then I think a physical element also, you see, accordingly more stable. So sometimes you see too much anxiety, not good for good health or peace of mind. And for that, again, you see, warm-heartedness is the key factor. My own daily practice, warm-heartedness, I always say, thinking or practice or say analyze that. So it really immense help for next life, not for next life, or simply day-to-day life become more calm, or physically also more health, more healthy physical. Because of calm mind is very, very important. Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Holiness. Lourdes Alves is the next. Lourdes Alves is a psychologist, social activist, and a teacher at Palas Athena. Please, Lourdes, can you ask your question?
Sua Santidade, a minha pergunta é:
Your Holiness, my question is,
a paz interior
how can we attain inner peace
e dor?
in the midst of violence and pain?
Yes, it is true. Now we are thinking about humanity, and through education, there is possibility to create peaceful world, compassionate world. At the moment, you see, too much emphasis, different nation, different country. So I think the whole sort of system or atmosphere is something wrong. We have to emphasize we are same human being. We have to live together on this small planet. So we really need oneness of humanity. And then violence, weapons, these are no longer any relevant for happy society. Like now in Afghanistan or some African states, you see still, you see too much use weapon. You see, without inner peace, too much also the emphasis we and they. They really need sense of oneness of human brothers, sisters. It takes time, but possible change these things. Okay.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now I will introduce Leoberto Brancher. Leoberto Brancher is a judge engaged in spreading restorative justice countrywide. He is a teacher of the National School of Magistrates and a member of the Management Committee for Restorative Justice National Policy in the Judiciary Branch. Please, Leoberto.
Sua Santidade, como pode haver essa unidade entre 7 bilhões de seres?
Your Holiness, how can there be oneness among 7 billion beings with and despite racial, cultural, ideological diversity?
When we, reach one place, just you alone, much anxiety. And then one human being there, then we simply feel, oh, they're human being. The first thought, we are same human being. You see, never ask what's that person's nationality, what's that person's religion. These are secondary. First, two eyes, one nose, and two legs, two hands, go that, and then we simply consider, oh, another human being. I can seek help from him, from her, like that. So that is the, I think, reason to prove oneness of human being. Now, other hand, as I already mentioned, we too much divided on differences on the basis of religion, unfortunately, on the basis of country or nationality. Now that too much. Now we should feel fed up. We should consider all same human being. We have to live side by side. Okay.
Thank you for your insights, Your Holiness. And now I will introduce Rabbi Newton Bonder. Rabbi Newton Bonder is the spiritual leader of the Brazilian Jewish congregation and author of many books, movies, and plays. Please, can you ask your question, Rabbi?
Your Holiness, many people find it impossible to reconcile the search for their own happiness with the dedication to the happiness of others. What would be your advice to them?
As I already mentioned, we are same human being. So you see, when think about humanity, no longer any relevant is my nation, my community, my religion. So in order to get maximum benefit to oneself, you have to think about humanity, about world, peaceful world, happy humanity. You get maximum benefit. Okay. I think too much emphasis, my nation, my community, that's ancient way of thinking. Now today, I think one way, human population increasing, and another sort of factor, the facility become limited. So therefore, we have to think about humanity as a whole, as a one. And then, according to my own little experience, when I was in Tibet, then think about Tibet. When I become refugee here in India, fortunately, as a guest of Indian government, I really feel we are same. It's a different nationality, different religious faith, different color. These are secondary. Important is we are same human being, same human brothers, sisters. That thinking really immense help for my own also the life. We are same. And of course, India, a free country, democratic country and a multi-religious community or country. So therefore, you see, you really feel just one home, like that. Okay. So ultimately, thinking about well-being of human brothers, sisters, then you get inner peace and oneness of humanity. That's important.
Thank you, Your Holiness. We will have two more questions, only two more questions. Please, Leah, can you ask your question?
Sure. Impermanência e interdependência são conceitos constitutivos.
Impermanence and interdependence are foundational in Buddhism, and they have been adopted in a large scale by nature sciences over the last decades. Today, how can we speak of interdependence and impermanence, considering we see ahead of us, we have a scenario of fragmented societies with radicalism and polarities?
Now, interdependency and impermanent. Now, these are important part of Buddhist philosophy. But then, there's a matter of personal thing. So we are thinking, not talking about one particular religious thinking, just humanity. We all common, the warm-heartedness. And in fact, all major religious tradition also you see talking about compassion and forgiveness. So all essence is warm-heartedness. So whether individually, believer or non-believer, as a human brother, sisters, and as we are a social animal, we need warm-heartedness. Okay.
Thank you. I have a last question. Ecological anxiety refers to a fear of environmental damage or ecological disaster, which affects especially the young generation. How can we help them to deal with this and other fears?
Now, firstly, as I mentioned earlier, education, environment, something very important, and particularly there is some indication that global warming now there. So we need a special effort to preserve ecology. This connection, Tibet, all major river at least cover India, China, and some other places. So the ecology, Tibet ecology, something very important for billions of human beings' life depend on these big rivers which ultimately come from Tibet. So I, as a Dalai Lama, the political matter, I already retired. But Tibetan ecology, I really pay attention, and also I often express the preservation of Tibetan ecology because within my lifetime, when I was young, and those mountains surrounding Lhasa, during winter, a lot of snow. Now, within my lifetime, snow much less. So already now indication due to global warming, you see Tibetan ecology, you see some change. So we have to pay more attention. Okay. Sometimes I really wish the Tibetan and Mongol sort of border is a big desert, like India, a big desert, and also some Arab country. This now we already have technology. So, and like Arab country, you see, the seawater, plenty of seawater, should utilize seawater, and these desert should be cultivated green land. Similarly, you see Tibet, you see we can utilize. And then now, one good thing is now solar power, and then wind power. So these are with combination of modern technology, actually very, very helpful. You see, to create, peaceful environment like that. Okay.
Sua Santidade nos deixa una mensaje
Your
de
Holiness,
esperanza, mas igualmente
you leave us with a
nos deixa
message of hope
convite y una convocación
and at the same
para
time a
acción
call,
concreta, para a
an
práctica,
invitation for concrete
visto que
actions,
educar un corazón
a call for
bondoso,
practice,
educarnos para compasión o
educating a warm heart,
son frutos
education
de
for
un
compassion and
trabalho
altruism,
dedicado, árduo
a
y
fruit
persistente.
of dedicated, persistent, diligent
Gratidão
effort.
inmensa, Sua Santidade,
Our deep
por
gratitude
confiar
to Your
em
Holiness.
nossa natureza
Thank you for your
inata
trust.
de
Thank you for
altruismo,
trusting our innate
bondade
nature
e
of
compaixão.
altruism,
Sua
kindness,
confiança
and compassion.
oferece confiança a cada
Your
de
trust provides trust and fosters
Long
it to
life
each
to
one
His
of us.
Holiness the Dalai Lama.
Thank you very much. This topic is something related with our daily life. So you see, we should pay more attention about warm-heartedness and create a genuine sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, with warm-heartedness. Eventually, entire world, humanity, now no longer talk about my nation or my community. We should talk about our human brothers, sisters. Thank you.
I would like to show a little video, His Holiness, please, with some moments of your 4 previous visits to Brazil. It's a short video, please.
Thank you. Karsa. 이게 돼.
I would like to thank Palas Athena Association, Tibet House Brasil, Dignity Setting and Shelley Boyle, Instituto de Ensino e Pesquisas em Yoga, Marcos Roja the guests who asked questions, as well as the Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama audiovisual team, Attain Sandup, Don Eisenberg, Guilherme Soares Tavares, Rose Albuquerque, Elena Kobayashi, Antônia Van Acker, and all the technical team. Denise Cato and Gianni Pili for the translation in Portuguese, and to all those who collaborate to carry out this event. Thank you from Brazil to Your Holiness for this unforgettable dialogue that unites so many people around the planet who are interested in developing qualities and a good heart. Your Holiness, please, some final words to the Brazilian people.
Now, as my most favorite subject is wholeheartedness. You see, we should not consider the very word, compassion, as something religious matter. No. Whether we believe God or whether we believe Buddha or not, we are simply a human being. We all come from our mother. We all, survived with mother's affection, as I briefly mentioned. So therefore, now, warm-heartedness is the key factor for humanity. And personally also, in order to be happy, peaceful human being, warm-heartedness is the key thing. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Dasaro.
Thank you.
Thank you.